We begin with breaking news as we come on the air at 10. 2 people have been shot in Lawrence County. It happened on County Road 296 northwest of Moulton. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nicole Williams.
And I'm Dan Schaefer. Wait 31's Brittany Harry is live in Lawrence County at the scene of that shooting. Brittany, what have you learned tonight?
Well, what we know right now is that, as you can kind of see behind me here, the scene's still active. Not as many police officers and deputies that have been out here right now, but we do know that 2 people were shot. That's according to the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. We know that 1 male, 1 female was shot, and both of them were airlifted. We are told that one of the victims went to UAB, the other victim went to Huntsville Hospital. No word on their condition right now, and also the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, they tell me that they aren't searching right now for any shooters in the area. But again, they say that this is a very active investigation, very early stages of investigating this at this time. But as you can see behind me, scene's still active right now. The Sheriff's Office says that they were called out here around 7 o'clock, and they've been out here ever since, just trying to piece together what happened. And no word right now on what exactly led up to this, or any other information as it relates to possible shooters. But we're going to stay out here, continue to stay on top of the story, and as soon as we learn anything new, we'll be sure to pass it along. Dan, Nicole.
Brittany Harry reporting live for us in Lawrence County. Thank you. This is a developing story. You can find our previous reporting as well as the latest updates anytime on our website, waytv.com.
Now at 10, Toyota Motor North America now planning to build a new billion-dollar factory to make batteries for electric cars. This comes only 4 days after the city of Huntsville put out a plan called Project Laser, which aims to bring a national distributor to Huntsville. Wait 31's Nicole Zedek joins us live now from the potential land development site. Nicole, what do we know about the connection between these 2 major announcements?
Well, not too much as of right now, because the city is under a non-disclosure agreement with a potential buyer of this property, of this dark field right behind me, right off of I-565 and Highway 20. However, I will say this site is only about 5 miles from the Mazda Toyota plant and only about 20 minutes from Toyota manufacturing plant.
We're causing a reason for more logistics to come through Huntsville.
At Thursday's City Council meeting, the Director of Urban and Economic Development, Shane Davis, announced a potential buyer wants to purchase 134 acres between I-565 and Old Highway 20 to build a $100 million distribution center.
What they want to do is build $100 million distribution logistics type spec facility that would attract a national type tenant.
Councilmember Francis Akridge asked the question on many people's minds: why would an anonymous national tenant choose Huntsville?
So a spec building of something that size is very unusual. We're not known as the logistics area of except for the airport, right?
But we weren't. We are now.
4 days after the council meeting, Toyota Motor North America announced plans for a $1.29 billion factory to manufacture electric car batteries. They haven't announced the new factory location yet, but it will likely be in one of these 7 states that already have a Toyota manufacturing plant. 130 acres of land down the road from Toyota Motors Manufacturing of Alabama could be the perfect spot.
In the future, the east side, we're going to see more development, more private investment along these streets.
Now, even if this is not the site for the new electric car battery manufactory for Toyota, whatever $100 million distribution center does come here will certainly help make the area a new industrial park, bringing more jobs and money to North Alabama. Reporting live in Huntsville Annex, Limestone County, Nicole Zedek, Wait 31 News.
Thanks, Nicole. More and more jobs are coming to North Alabama, but there aren't enough people to fill them. The latest Alabama employment report shows the labor force participation rate is at nearly 57%, but that leaves 43% at home. The Alabama Department of Labor says there are reasons behind the shortage, including an ongoing fear of COVID, people changing careers, and early retirements. The Huntsville-Madison County Chamber of Commerce is doing what it can to help fix the problem.
We are actively working to support our companies in their workforce recruitment efforts and are assisting in additional efforts to really build awareness around Huntsville to recruit additional people to come and fill those jobs, in addition to those that we're growing through our school systems and our colleges.
The Alabama Department of Labor says Governor Kay Ivey has also launched several initiatives to fight labor shortages. 5 minutes after 10, another chilly night across North Alabama. Take a look at these current temperatures, already down into the 40s, 48 degrees in Decatur and Gadsden. Fort Payne also at 48, 50 degrees right now in Huntsville and Scottsboro.
Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna joins us now from the Storm Tracker Weather Center. Kate, it won't be quite as cold as this morning, right?
That's exactly right. Just a few degrees warmer tomorrow, though I wouldn't call our forecast low in the lower 40s warmer. You're still going to need the jackets as you head out the door Tuesday morning. Here's what we've got right now looking over Huntsville. A nice clear night, able to see all the city lights. Again, we are at the 50-degree mark. We still have several degrees to drop before we hit that morning low. The Way 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar network shows a quiet picture at each one of our 3 radars. No rain in your forecast tonight or for tomorrow, for that matter. This is what you're stepping out the door with tomorrow morning, though. 43 degrees is your forecast low at 7 a.m. By 8 o'clock, we start warming into the upper 40s. We start with lots of sunshine, some areas of patchy fog. Clouds start to stream in by the time we get into the second half of the day tomorrow. And you'll notice here, these are the morning lows for the next few days. A little bit of a warming trend. We're waking up to 60 degrees by Thursday morning. And as temperatures become a little milder overnight, we're also going to have a lot of cloud cover and the chance for rain back in our forecast. So I'm tracking that cold front that's coming along with that next rain chance on future radar. That's all coming up.
Kate, thanks. Monitor the temperature and more with the Way 31 weather app. Get live updates, emergency alerts, and access to the Storm Tracker early warning network, all from the palm of your hand. Download the Way 31 weather app right now.
New details. Governor Kay Ivey says she is busy making plans for the second legislative session of the year, which starts next week. The governor announced the special session last week to draw new legislative maps. Some special interest groups are calling on the legislature to discuss other issues, including a state lottery. While in Huntsville today, the governor told Way 31 lawmakers should concentrate on redistricting.
And we're still working with the leadership of the legislature to finalize the details of what else might be included in the call. But redistricting is our main focus for the special session starting October 28.
The state goes through this process after every census, so every 10 years, as voters move in, out, and around the state.
Fallen Officer Sergeant Nick Reisner's K-9 Wiska is home tonight with Reisner's daughter and wife. Sheffield City Council members voted to retire Wiska and send her home with Reisner's family because of the bond she had with Reisner. That dog now is home with his daughter and his wife, Brandy. It was an emotional moment as the 3 were reunited.
Wiska was a great dog. She probably had 3 or 4 years of service left in her, but it was the right thing to do to bring closer to the family.
City Council also voted to retire Reisner's badge number and recognize his service to the community, as well as Officer Max Dotson's service. Max and Reisner stopped an armed suspect from getting into a crowded Walmart parking lot. Dotson took 2 rounds to his bulletproof vest, and Reisner, of course, made the ultimate sacrifice. No word yet on who will represent the man accused of shooting and killing Sergeant Reisner. This after the 2 attorneys appointed to defend Brian Martin in his capital murder trial both asked to be taken off of the case. One attorney says he already has too many cases on his plate, and the other says there's a conflict of interest. Martin's preliminary hearing is set for October 25th.
Investigators identified 4 suspects they say are responsible for vandalizing a Morgan County church. They are an 11-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, and 2 14-year-old boys. Take a look at some of that damage right now. Police say those kids are responsible for it. St. John's Missionary Baptist Church in Somerville. Sheriff Ron Puckett says he's working with church leadership to assist in getting the church up and running again after suffering thousands of dollars in damage. The 4 suspects face burglary and criminal mischief charges.
New tonight, the trial of a Decatur man accused of murder while out on bond is now underway. Shadid Fuqua is accused of shooting and killing a man outside a Decatur apartment complex in November of 2019. He was out on bond at the time, despite previously serving time on several other charges.
Governor Ivey weighs in after the death of a military leader and pioneer. What she had to say about the life of Colin Powell.
Powell's death is restarting the conversation about COVID-19, even as new cases across the country decline. What health experts say we have to do ahead of the holidays to avoid another winter surge.
A quiet, cool night transitions into a chilly start for our Tuesday morning. I'm tracking those temperatures and when the rain is back. Coming up.
coverage you can count on. You're watching Way 31 News with Dan Schaefer, Nakel Williams, Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna, Sports Director Nolan Knight, and the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
.10:13, want to bring you out to the scene again of breaking news in Lawrence County where 2 people were shot. It happened on County Road 296 northwest of Moulton. You're taking a live look at that scene now. We know 2 people were airlifted to the hospital. We haven't gotten any word yet on their conditions. The sheriff's office says he is not looking currently for any shooters. We have a reporter on the scene there. We'll keep you updated as new information comes in.
Tonight, flags across Alabama are flying at half-staff to honor General Colin Powell. Governor Ivey's ordered the flags lowered immediately in accordance with a presidential proclamation. The governor spoke about Powell today in Huntsville while visiting the Toyota manufacturing plant. She called Powell, quote, one of our nation's finest leaders and trailblazers. The former U.S. Secretary of State and chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff died from COVID-related complications. Powell was immunocompromised due to cancer treatments. He was set to get his booster shot this past week, but got sick and wasn't able to receive it. After combat duty in Vietnam, Powell became the first black national security advisor for President Ronald Reagan. He then served as the youngest and first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George H.W. Bush. That will lead to his highest position as the first black U.S. Secretary of State under President George W. Bush. Powell was 84 years old. Though the U.S. appears to be turning the corner on a surge of COVID cases, battles are still brewing over mask and vaccine mandates.
ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest now from Los Angeles.
Across California, thousands of parents picketing and protesting the state's vaccine mandate for students.
Anything forced is not right, especially kids. It's crazy.
California teachers are already required to get the shots, and as soon as the vaccine is approved for their age group, younger students will have to get vaccinated. The COVID vaccine will join a list of 10 other shots required for school, including those for measles and mumps.
Do you do the MMR vaccines and the polio and all that stuff as well?
I am totally pro-vaccine.
In general?
In general, absolutely. And I think that it's my choice with my doctor. We should have a conversation and decide what is necessary for our children.
In Kansas, a similar scene. Workers rallying today against airplane builder Textron's vaccine mandate. Employees could lose their jobs if they don't comply.
So wrong on so many levels. And we have to have our voices heard right now.
In Chicago, 35% of the police department hasn't reported their vaccination status and risk losing their jobs.
I really hope that the men and women of the Chicago Police Department are not going to ruin their careers over going to a website and saying yes or no.
And in Washington state, a judge is upholding the requirement for state employees, healthcare workers, and teachers to get vaccinated, saying the measure was well within the governor's emergency power.
The motion for injunction is denied.
The wave of requirements come as COVID cases appear to be falling in most states, but 8 states are reporting increases, including New Mexico, which is now operating with crisis standards of care. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Another big drop in COVID inpatients across the Huntsville hospital system. Today, there are a total of 144 patients system-wide. That's down 18 from the last update from Friday. We haven't seen numbers this low, in fact, since late July. 44 patients are in the ICU, 35 are on ventilators. Even as hospitalizations decline, the Medical Association of Alabama says it's still as important as ever to get the COVID vaccine if you haven't already. It reports of the almost 9,000 Alabamians who got COVID-19 twice, 87% were unvaccinated. Even if you had the virus before, the association says these numbers show the vaccine provides much more protection than your natural antibodies over time. You can find the latest COVID news, stats, updates, and more anytime. Just click the coronavirus tab on our website, waytv.com.
Weather coverage you can count on with Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna and the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Temperatures are already dropping into the upper 40s in some spots tonight. We're at 48 degrees right now in Decatur, 49 in Florence, 50 degrees in Huntsville and Scottsboro. And we still have the rest of the night to go when it comes to temperatures continuing to drop until sunrise. That's typically when we hit our low temperature. The Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network shows each one of those 3 radars, giving us that nice quiet picture. Decatur, Gunnersville, Muscle Shoals, not worried about rain tonight. And really for the most part this week, we don't have much to worry about when it comes to rain. It's going to stay dry tonight and tomorrow. Wednesday, things change though by Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll talk about that in just a second. But as we go through tonight, we're down to 44 degrees by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is very close to your forecast low of 43 degrees. And once we get to tomorrow afternoon, you'll notice a little more cloud cover, especially during the second half of the day. On your Tuesday, 76 degrees is your forecast high. We'll start the day with some areas of patchy fog and sunshine. The clouds build during the afternoon. Light wind out of the south at 5 miles per hour. So watch what happens here on Future Radar. I'll take you through the rest of tonight into tomorrow morning. There's 6:30, starting mostly clear. And here come the clouds. We'll stop this now at 11:30 tomorrow, so just before noon, clouds streaming in from the west, and it's a partly sunny sky. You'll still see some peaks of sunshine through the afternoon, but there's a little more cloud cover than sunshine by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Through tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, a little bit of a break from the cloud cover, and then as we get into Wednesday afternoon, more where that is coming from. Now by 10 o'clock Wednesday night, it's still dry, but very late Wednesday into early Thursday morning, that's when the chance for rain is back in our forecast. So hopefully you can squeeze out a couple of days to do some more exploring with such nice weather that we've got again tomorrow and again on Wednesday. Maybe a view like this one. Bob Phillips sent in this picture to the Alabama the Beautiful Facebook group. Use the hashtag ATBWAAY31 to let us know that he would like to share this photo. This was taken in the Bankhead National Forest. An absolutely stunning view there of that waterfall. Love the light kind of playing off the rocks in the background. So here's the next chance for rain. This is what I was alluding to earlier. Showers start to come in here early Thursday morning. This is not going to be steady, heavy rain all day long. Showers off and on, a rumble of thunder here and there is certainly possible. As we get into 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon, still holding on to those scattered showers, but through Thursday night into Friday morning, you'll see some improvement. Most of that shifting off towards the east, some lingering clouds during the morning on Friday. And that's about it. It's not a big rainmaker for us. Most locations are looking at about 1/4 inch of rain on the high end. We can get a couple localized amounts that are closer to 1/2 inch. But again, this is not going to be one of those flooding situations we're going to need to be concerned with. 7-day forecast shows that once that rain moves out, stunning weather is back with us just in time for the weekend. 71 degrees Friday afternoon. Great weather for Friday night football. A little bit of that chill in the air. Down to 50 degrees Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Sunshine and a high near 70. You can always listen for your forecast. 94.1 WHRP.
Okay, thanks. Paying more to heat your home.
Which customers will be most impacted by an expected price hike as cold temperatures move in for the season?
Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Drivers had to steer clear of several cows that got loose after a wreck near Oakwood and I-565. The owner of the cattle trailer told Way 31 they were rear-ended while checking a tire. Thankfully, no one, including the cows, was badly injured. Huntsville police say the cows wandered across the interstate and Oakwood Avenue for a short time before being moved into a dugout at a nearby baseball field. The owner was able to bring in another trail to safely move them on and head them up back home. Well, it may have snuck up on us, but the cool weather season is definitely here.
And if you're adjusting your thermostat to turn on the heat, you should know it's likely to cost you more than usual. A rise in natural gas prices will lead to significantly higher utility bills for customers with gas heat. Huntsville Utilities says it's caused by the same thing, leading you to pay more when you fill up your car.
The past few months, the price of natural gas has exploded, and so we are having to accommodate for that and hoping that that rate will stabilize so that we can keep our rates competitively low.
There are some budget-friendly ways to lower your utility bill. Make sure your doors and windows are sealed. Check attic insulation if temperatures are cool, and turn down the HVAC unit, or turn it off rather.
Not a toy story anyone wants to hear, but getting certain toys for Christmas may be a bit more of a challenge this year. The shipping container shortage is making it harder for certain toys to get delivered to stores. Stores are trying to keep the shelves full of toys ahead of the peak holiday shopping season. One local toy store owner told us it is not uncommon to see customers already getting their toy shopping done for Christmas.
Today, the Trash Pandas confirmed that Major League Baseball is working on a plan to provide housing for minor leaguers. We'll tell you everything we know next in sports.
And now sports coverage you can count on with Way 31 sports anchor Max Cohan.
It is homecoming week for Alabama, and the Tide is rolling back to Tuscaloosa as the number 4 team in the nation. Even after a massive win over Mississippi State, Coach Saban is still not satisfied, especially with the way his defense has allowed third down conversions so far. When asked how he views the team's identity this season, Coach Saban said that's still up in the air. But this week, the team is preparing for a big rivalry matchup with the Volunteers. This year, the third Saturday in October is on the fourth Saturday in October, but regardless of the date, Coach Saban says this is a big one.
I think the rivalry between, Tennessee and Alabama is, one of the old great rivalries in college football. It goes way back. I know it means a lot to a lot of people, in our state. Certainly means a lot to me, and hopefully we'll get that translated to our team. Josh Heupel has done a really good job at Tennessee. Their team is playing really well. They're explosive on offense. They make a lot of big plays. They played extremely well on teams as well. So all the way around, this is going to be a very challenging game for us.
And yet another Tide player is getting awarded this week. Will Anderson Jr. was named SEC Defensive Player of the Week for the third time this season after recording 4 sacks against the Bulldogs on Saturday. The sophomore now has 7 sacks on the year. And out in Florence, UNA's Parker Driggers was named Big South Player of the Week after his career day, which saw him rush for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns, amassing 255 all-purpose yards as he set a conference record with a 99-yard score in the Lions' first win since 2019. As we mentioned last night, ESPN reports that Major League Baseball is finalizing a plan that will require the big league clubs to provide housing for minor league players starting in 2022. It has yet to be decided if the team will give out stipends that fully cover housing or provide the lodging themselves. While that plan is not final or in place yet, the Rocket City Trash Pandas have been told by the Angels that their players will be covered. Trash Pandas Vice President Lindsey Knupp says the team knows the struggles these players have been going through and views this as a huge benefit for all minor leaguers.
I know that they're definitely going to look at this as a huge weight lifted off their chests and their pocketbooks, especially as they come back here again in 2022. They loved it here. They loved the energy. They loved the fans. Everything about the entertainment and the excitement that went into games that our community really embraced was special for them, and they couldn't have asked for anything better from that standpoint.
Knupp added that they are waiting to hear from the Angels organization about the specifics of this plan, but says the Trash Pandas will plan to work with them to find the best options for the Rocket City squad.